Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us live for today's Customer Success webinar with our founder and CEO, Paul Phillips. My name is Mathilde, and I'm the Manager of Marketing here at Amity, where we provide customer success managers with a platform that they need to retain and grow their customers at scale. We're super excited to be discussing how to break away from the customer success performance plateau today. We've often talked to teams who try to hit their goals, and no matter how many initiatives that they take, the results are only limited. So this is what we'll be discussing in today's webinar with Paul. Paul is the founder and CEO of Amity. He's a leading innovator in SaaS and customer success. And since founding Amity, he's spoken with customer success professionals from across industries, and he's acquired a wealth of knowledge about best practices that he shares with our customers on a daily basis and with us every once in a while when he joins one of our webinars. So before we get started, I just have a few housekeeping notes to share with everyone. Join us on Twitter. We'll be using the hashtag CSWebinar. Tag us as well and take screenshots, share them with your network, and we'd love to retweet you. We will be recording the webinar, and we will be sending the slides as well as the recording to everyone before the weekend, so keep an eye on your inbox. And we do have a Q&A planned for the end of the webinar. So at any point, you can open your Q&A panel in Zoom, and you can send us your questions. We also have an open chat going on, so you can send us notes and send notes to other attendees as well at any point. And that's it for the housekeeping. So Paul, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm going to hand things over to you now.
Great, thanks Mathilde. And thanks everybody for coming out today. We're particularly excited by this webinar, and so we're looking forward to going through this content with you. Appreciate you spending the time with us. Today's webinar is based on a few years of observations that we have working with hundreds of customer success teams and organizations, and talking with probably 1,500 SaaS companies in general. And what we found is that as companies have adopted the customer success strategy and built a customer success organization and rolled it out, that they hit a plateau in their results, and that plateau persists even though they're trying to do the right things to break through the plateau. And so we've worked with a lot of our customers on identifying the source of that plateau and strategies for breaking through the plateau. And what we've learned is that the plateau happens as the complexity in your business or in your customer success team or in your customer's business increases. So as you get more products, more customers, more data, more competition, more market segments, more CSMs, more tactics, the complexity that has to be managed and integrated increases. And you would hope that as the business grows and as a business gets more complex, that your performance would go up in a straight line. That's the way most board presentations look, but it's not necessarily how reality always looks. Reality kind of looks like this: as the complexity in your business and customer success goes up, you hit a ceiling of performance. You hit the performance plateau. And it can persist for a long time, and it can be pretty mysterious. We know from talking to our customers that this is pretty frustrating and surprising, and even though they're doing the right thing. So sometimes they might change their people. Some bring in a new executive, or bring in a new type of CSM, or bring in a new mid-level manager with more domain knowledge, or they'll swap out the current process for a different process, or they'll invest lots of money into a customer success platform like Gainsight or Amity. But that plateau can still persist over a long period of time, as long as the complexity keeps increasing. And so what we've discovered is that what happens is when performance is improving, when performance is giving you the results that you want, you've actually aligned your people, your product, your tools, and your processes all on the same set of goals. So they're all working together to deliver your value proposition. They're all working together to produce the business results that you're looking to produce. But then the complexity keeps going up, and what happens is that complexity naturally pulls that alignment apart. So your people are working towards one set of problems, and your product people are solving a different set of problems, and your tools are automating what looked like a good idea last year but isn't a good idea this year, and your processes haven't changed in 18 months. And now they're not all working together. They're not all playing from the same playbook. And this is really what causes the plateau, is that the levers that you have to produce results and to deliver value for your customers aren't working together. It's like if you're driving a car down the highway and you turn the steering wheel to go right and the car goes left. It's really hard to control when things aren't aligned and working together. So one model that we found of thinking about how to break through that challenge is when you hit the plateau as complexity goes up, invest in new capabilities that pull your people, your process, your technology, and your processes all together to pull you in the same goal. And so the secret to success is to identify the key missing capabilities that will help you realign all of those key elements of your strategy. And for example, and these are just simple examples. You as a startup, you onboard everybody manually, and you focus largely. Customer success largely starts in your onboarding process, and you start to get pretty good at that. And then you add a few more customers, and then you add a new module to your product, and you add a couple more CSMs and a new market. And then all of a sudden it's getting pretty complex, and your performance at onboarding starts to go down or to hit a plateau. And then at that point you can add the new capability of automating parts of your onboarding process. And then you get that right, and your performance starts to get better, and you're adding more value for your customers, and everything's looking great. And then poof, you hit the same plateau again, except now the happy customers after onboarding aren't renewing. And so now you might want to add a customer health score, customer insight capability to your quiver of the arrows in your quiver, in your toolbox. Okay? So, and those new capabilities are what realign those four elements. So we call this smart customer success. We've tried for a long time to call it intelligent process automation for customer success, and that has the pleasant acronym of IPACS, which is as memorable as it gets. So we just shortened that down to SMART. And so all of the elements there are important. Intelligence, more insight about your product, more insight about your customers, more insight about your value proposition, more insight about your capabilities, more insight about your people, more insight about your processes, all create intelligence. at the heart of any new capability, of course, is process, and then automation is really what makes this scalable, repeatable, and predictable. So, so if you search for the term intelligent process automation, you'll get lots of references for that, but we call that smart customer success. It's easier on us. So today we're going to talk about 6 strategies for smart customer success, and this gives you a methodology, if you like, for designing and adding new capabilities, so that when you hit the customer success performance plateau, you can let these 6 strategies inform how you break through that. Okay. So the first, shockingly enough, is to focus on customer value. Definitely one of the things that can happen as complexity in the business increases is that your focus can switch from customer outcomes or customer value to internal goals. If renewals are a problem, then you can start to focus on the internal goal of improving renewals, which has the paradoxical impact of decreasing your renewals because you've taken your eyes off the customer value and customer outcomes. So any new capabilities that you invest in, any new processes, tools to support those capabilities, all have to be focused on customer value. And this isn't a religious creed. There's just a natural human tendency to focus on what you get measured by, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it can pull us away from focusing on what really produces results, which is delivering the value our customers are expecting. Okay. The second is to empower your people. So your implementation, onboarding, training, customer success, account management people, or your tech touch program and campaign people, they're your experts. They're your lever for producing value for your customer. So they're the front line. They're the touch points. And so in every capability that you design, you want one of your goals is to make your people smarter, make them more effective, make them more of an expert, make them more valuable to your customer, make them more productive at creating value for your customers. Okay? So this is a cliche for 50 years now, but your people are an asset that produce the results that you're looking to achieve. Okay. So the flip side of empowering your people is to automate the repetitive tasks on their plate. So if they're spending a day and a half every week producing an internal report for you or for the board or for the management team, you can automate that and give them that day and a half of time back. If they're producing reports for your customers, you can automate that. And so you want to take all of the things that aren't producing value for your customers, automate that so that your people can spend more time working with and delivering value to your customers. So you might do that with automated reporting emails. You may do that with low-touch, tech-touch playbooks. You may do that by automating your customer insight and your customer reporting. There's 100 things you can automate over time. Okay. A really critical strategy for designing capabilities and breaking through the performance plateau is to be constantly closing the loop. So as you design and implement new capabilities, put measures in place that tell you whether they're working or not, and take those measures and feed them back into your capabilities. And it's really easy to do on a slide. This is really harder to do in reality. But this is what really makes it work. This is the cornerstone, because you just get smarter in your capabilities over time. So the feedback mechanism is really essential. The flip side of that idea is to start small and build momentum, and then measure feedback, improve, measure feedback, and improve. So back in the first example we had for building an automated onboarding capability, you may want to start by only automating the first couple of steps and getting them right, and doing the rest manually with high touch. And then once you're happy with the way the first couple of steps are working, then you can automate the next couple of steps and the next couple of steps. So you may do it like that, one step at a time. Maybe there's a layer, so you may do the customer the email layer, and then do the customer feedback layer, the customer meeting layer. There's different ways that you can organize it, but the key is to start small and iterate. And anyone who's been on more than one of our webinars will have heard me say that more than once. Okay, and then another one of the key strategies is to build lasting capabilities, and that's really what breaks through the performance plateau, is design capabilities that are going to produce results for your customer and for the business over the long haul, because it takes time to iterate, to get feedback, to get them right, and you want to get the payback on those over time. And so there are no silver bullets, and you want to get smarter for the long haul. So long haul. I apologize. So quick fixes can be tempting, and they can work for a short period of time. But what's really going to make your customer success organization function at a new level of performance is by having a set of lasting capabilities that work together to deliver value for your customer and for the business. Okay, so those are the 6 strategies for smart customer success. Focus on customer value, empowering your people in all of your customer touch points, automate repetitive and routine tasks, close the loop so your capabilities are constantly getting more effective, start small and iterate, and all in the service of building lasting capabilities that are focused on customer value and internal results. Okay, so we've left lots of time today to answer your questions. So please start entering any questions you have into the Q&A box at the bottom of your Zoom bar, in the middle of your Zoom bar there, and we'd be happy to answer your questions. And while you're entering that, just a quick word from our sponsor, Amity. We designed Amity to help you keep your product, your people, your processes, and your tools all working together towards creating the value proposition that you're delivering to your customer and to your management. And we built Amity with the concept of designing and implementing effective capabilities into your customer success processes right into the product. We'd love to show you how that works and how you can use that to improve your customer success performance. If you'd like to get a demo of Amity and see how that can work in your business, just go to the website, getamity.com/demo, and we'll prompt you, and it'll prompt you, and we'll set you up with a demo. Okay, so I see that we've got some questions. Mathilde, do you want to
Sure.
take over?
So we have a couple questions. I definitely encourage everyone to send us additional ones. First, how long do you recommend the feedback mechanism to be, and how long should an iteration last?
Okay, that's a big question. So it really depends on the type of capability. So the answer is until it's working, until it's producing the value that you want to deliver for your customers and the internal results that you're looking for. Increased adoption, increased renewals, and the feedback loop should be as short as possible. And there's no simple answer for how short that should be, but 1 week, 1 month, in that range, so that you can get meaningful feedback and make meaningful changes. Okay.
Cool. Another question here is, what capabilities do you recommend starting off with and building on?
So the first level of capabilities in customer success generally have to do with onboarding, implementation, project management, and the first level of customer value management. So that means having the subject matter expertise and domain area experts that you need to transfer that knowledge to your customers so that they can get better in their capabilities. But it's that's a big question.
Mm-hmm. Cool. We have a great comment here, which is, I am the only customer success executive at my company, and I don't know what steps or structures to start with, and how do I manage data feedback, and basically just a structure for customer success for a SaaS company. So that's also a very big question. Any tips on really getting started with the structure and the team? Yeah,
so in that situation, definitely improve one capability at a time. When you have nothing, it can be really tempting to try to implement 5 new capabilities at the same time. An onboarding capability, a training capability, a customer insight capability, a management reporting capability. Those all might be a customer feedback capability. They all might be the sort of things that you're tempted to do in those circumstances, but it's going to be very hard to do implement 5 new capabilities effectively at the same time. So our advice is to do one at a time, get it to good enough, and then start working on the next one. And there generally tends to be a natural order. So your onboarding process tends to be the first one, first capability to focus on, and then having a feedback capability so that you can tell what's working and what's not working in your onboarding process, and then having a customer insight capability so that you can see how different onboarding strategies are impacting adoption and renewal, and you can drive that insight back to the product team. So there's definitely an order. If you start thinking about it as one capability at a time, you'll get to your end goal a lot faster, one capability at a time.
Awesome. Why don't we take one last question? So here, do you recommend scraping capabilities if you see that they're not working, or working to improve them?
Yeah, so definitely part of capability design and capability assessment is taking existing capabilities out of production, if you like. We've over the years at Amity, we've run experiments. We've implemented new capabilities that didn't work the way that we expected, and we just stopped doing that. and replace it with something that's a little more effective, a little more productive, based on what we learned by implementing that capability that didn't work. And so that's definitely part of the start small and iterate and closing the loop process. Is if it's not working, get rid of it.
Cool. Awesome. We just got one more question. So here, let's answer one last and then we'll wrap things up. So as an onboarding leader in a mailing company, new to the job title, and I'm expected to design a new way to improve onboarding experience. My clients don't log in the first month, so I was wondering what strategy you suggest to improve on that.
Can you?
To improve time to first.
Yeah. Okay. So, great question. Definitely one of the first questions that you should be asking when designing an onboarding process or improving an onboarding process is how can we get to the customer getting some value as soon as possible? And so that's what I would recommend. What's the value point that you can get to really, really quickly? And when we're implementing a customer on the Amity platform, it can take a long time to pull all the data together, get all that integrated, get the usage data into the product, and we have a focus value point that promises to no more surprises to our customers. So very quickly they can see what's happening with their customer base, and so that's our first value point, and we drive to that as fast as we can, and we try to constantly improve on that. And I suspect that there's something similar in your business. What's that first value point that's going to reassure your customers and get them excited? And how can you get there quickly?
Awesome. Thanks so much, Paul. So before we wrap up, I just want to let everyone know about our next webinar, which is 9 ways to supercharge customer success productivity. And it will be with the head of customer success, Tom Ronan from Monday.com. And that's taking place in 2 weeks. So check your inbox and we will be sending you an invite super soon. But that's it.
Great. Thanks, everybody. If you have any questions, just drop us an email.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.